What's up, everybody? St. Marcus, and this is episode 2 of my podcast. And the goal of this podcast is to make the world a better place, one episode at a time. The way we're going to do that is by evaluating negativity one person and or post at a time. So since Thanksgiving was yesterday, I want to go ahead and take some time to talk about things that I'm thankful for. So one thing that I've been extremely thankful for lately is the past 4 years have been kicking the shit out of me. The last year I was in the military, and these last 3.5 years since I got out have been fucking extremely difficult. Financially, mentally, spiritually, relationship-wise, just any way that you can think of. But if it wasn't for these hardships, I would have never been forced to really reevaluate who I am and figure out ways to get out of this cycle. So one incident that happened was this breakup that I went through a few years ago that was caused by my unwillingness to deal with childhood trauma and deal with the trauma from relationships that I've had in the past, especially the one I had right before that. And as bad as that breakup sucked at the time, it was also a blessing because, like I said, I really had to figure my shit out, and I didn't want to be that way anymore. I didn't want to be that person. So one thing that was kind of mentioned was maybe I should try out church. And it's funny because I considered myself an atheist. Even up to that point, I was always questioning like religion. I thought it was weak. I thought it was for weak people. And I thought a lot of religious people were just hypocrites and judgmental. So I started going, and I quickly learned that I was wrong in every single aspect. The messages were hitting me like fucking crazy. It was like every time I went, it was exactly what I needed to hear in that exact moment. So I started doing church groups, I started volunteering, I started connecting with some amazing people. And some of these people are genuinely the most nicest people I've ever met in my life. And it felt great, it felt amazing to be surrounded by that, especially when you're so used to being surrounded by negativity all the time. And once I allowed God into my life, I finally really started to feel remorse for the things that I've done and the things that I was choosing to do that I knew were wrong. And it was bad enough to the point where I was extremely depressed. For at least a month, I was stuck on my couch. All I wanted to do was sleep. Like, I physically could not stay awake for more than 4 hours at a time. And I lost like 10 pounds in like 2 weeks. It really felt like I had like 1,000,000 pounds on my shoulders. But little did I know, even that was a blessing, because that's when I figured, maybe I should go talk to somebody. Maybe I should go to the VA and figure some shit out. And that's when they diagnosed me with bipolar disorder type 1. And up to that point in my life, I was feeling that I had a spiritual tug of war going on, because sometimes I felt extremely productive and extremely happy. And at other times I felt extremely negative. Like I just wanted to watch the world burn. And after finding out that was just bipolar disorder for the most part, it was relieving because now I got the chance to understand it. And since then, it's helped a ton. But around that time, I was seeing somebody, and I knew this person wasn't good for me. I knew she wasn't relationship material. And I saw the red flags, and I would even pray to God and be like, God, if this isn't right for me, show me the red flags. And the next day, I would get a fat red flag, but I would ignore it. And even though I genuinely cared and I genuinely tried, it ended up going completely wrong and awful for me. It set me back so far. And the worst thing about it is that in the end, I was the one that was wrong in her mind. And that kind of stuff sucks. But the only thing that I can do is blame myself, because I knew better and I still made that choice. I can't blame her. She was dealing with her own shit. She's stuck in her own mentality, the same mentality that I was stuck in when I was like 16 or whatever. So since then, it's been a year already. Since then, I haven't been seeing nobody. I haven't been talking to nobody. I've been just staying focused on what I need to do and who I am and growing as a man. And honestly, it's been amazing. I've had so much time. I've had so much more energy just to put out content. And like, I've been doing music this last 2 years, but I'm doing podcasts, I'm streaming, I'm doing just all kinds of other shit that I knew I wanted to do back then, but I just kept making excuses and I kept being distracted. And all of this shit, has led me to who I am right now. And another thing I'm thankful for is the fact that me and my parents' relationship and my family in general's relationship is finally starting to be better. Me and my father did not have a good relationship growing up. It was awful, and I held on to that anger for such a long time. But recently, I'm finally feeling to a point where we're getting a lot better and we can finally talk to each other. And it's an amazing feeling, honestly. It feels great. I'm extremely happy about that. And it feels like I've had chains tied to me this whole time, and I'm finally able to break free and just be happy with who I am. And I finally realized that you can't be somebody else to make other people happy, because all you're gonna do is attract people that you don't even like in the first place. And then once you start being yourself, they're gonna hate you either way. So self-acceptance has been something that I've been benefiting off of. But the last thing I want to say that I'm thankful for is my dog, Mr. T. Now I know a lot of people think, oh, he's just a dog, but these people don't understand what it's like to be going through all this stuff, to be going through heartbreaks, to be going through stresses, to be feeling completely alone, feeling completely distressed. And you come home and your dog is just excited to see you. He always wants to be right next to you. He always loves you, no matter what. And it's an amazing thing, He's really forced me to put a mirror to myself and realize that a lot of the traits that my parents had that I didn't like how they treated me, I was doing the same thing to him. And I didn't even have to have kids to realize that. But honestly, there's nothing better than having someone there for you, Even if it's just your dog. I'm so grateful for him. Almost as much as I am grateful for having God in my life. And I don't care if these things sound cheesy because they're my truths. And I'm happy now. I feel better now. I know that happiness isn't going to be every single day. I know that there's going to be stressful days and hard times. But now I'm to the point where I understand that while it's happening. And the very next day, I bounce right back. I wake up every morning telling myself, I'm gonna fucking do something with my life today. I have goals that I need to reach. I have a purpose in life. I don't make excuses anymore. I don't hate other people for succeeding anymore. I don't expect anybody to do shit for me that I can do for myself. And it's a great feeling. I still feel the weight of the world on my shoulders, but I feel like I can carry that shit now. And honestly, I'm happy to carry it. I hold myself accountable for everything. I feel responsibility towards everything. I feel responsibility towards little things as feeding my dog to being a great human being and helping the world be a better place. And there's nothing better than every single thing in your life having meaning like that. So anyways, I think I've taken up enough time. I really just hope that something that I say can click for someone and help them understand that you can't force the world to be a utopia. You can't force the world to be positive and happy. You can't force all the evil and the negativity out of the world. But what you can do is choose to change yourself and choose not to be like that. And in a great way, you're making the world a better place. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you choose positivity, and I hope that you tune in next time. All right, later guys.